Okay, so as I mentioned in the teaching toolkit, there's some things I've learned over the past 10 years here at the college internship program. So some tips that I would have for students. One is always put your health first. I think even though this might seem obvious to some, for our students, it not always is. Make sure you're taking your medications every day as they're prescribed. If you're having difficulty with anxiety or depression, reach out and have a specialist to help address that. But look at ways, whether it be even working out, exercising, getting the right amount of sleep so that you're putting your health first. It's going to help you be the most effective employee that you can. And we all know if you're not at your best, it makes it a lot harder to do your work. Also, don't miss out on opportunities to do things, even if you feel like you can't do it perfectly. Okay? It is better to do something imperfectly than to not try at all. So a lot of our students might get what we call stuck when they face a task and they're not sure how to approach it. But as we all know, a lot of times it's just important to get the job done or to give it our best effort, and then people can help us out to get the job done. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback. Our students, a lot of times they think, if I don't ask, then everything's okay. And if somebody doesn't give me feedback, then that must mean everything's okay. Well, unfortunately, in today's world, as we know, most of the time people only receive performance evaluations once a year. A lot can happen in a week, let alone a month, let alone a year. And not everybody's comfortable at giving direct feedback. So don't assume, ask for feedback and find out from your supervisor, how am I doing? What can I do differently? What can I improve upon? And try to have a check-in once a week or once every other week so you know how you're doing. So important. For our families and our professionals, a few things to keep in mind. Provide routine, but still encourage flexibility, because as we know, things happen all the time. Maybe a classroom is double booked and you have to think on the fly to change, location. But you want to provide a routine for our students because, as you know, most of the time they do best when there's a predictable routine and they can, that's not good. So for the families and professionals, some things to keep in mind working with your young adults. Provide routine, but still encourage that flexibility. I think most everybody working in this field knows that our students work best with routine. But at the same time, our students need to not be so strict in that routine that they're not able to adapt when something goes differently or goes wrong. So you look for those opportunities to encourage flexibility. Start small and build gradually. We don't want to throw them into the deep end right from the beginning. Some families come to me and they are envisioning their student working 40 hours a week right from the beginning, and maybe they've never had an internship or a job. Let's start small. Let's start just a few hours a week, and if they're doing their job successfully, then let's build. Let's increase that shift. Let's add a second day and go from there. We use the same approach with academics. Let's start with 1 or 2 college classes, and if a student is doing well, it builds their self-esteem, and then add from there. Let's not go all the way to the right end, and then if they're not doing well, it really does affect their confidence. Set expectations, and ideally those expectations should be measurable so you can see if a student's progressing, that they can see that. They should be specific and definitely attainable. There's no point in setting a goal for a student or a student setting a goal for themselves that is not a goal they can reach, because again, that's going to knock their confidence down. Keep a good sense of humor. Certainly we do this here at the college internship program. We really enjoy working with our students, but some days are tougher than others, and it's really important to just maintain a good sense of humor. Our students enjoy that too, and it really role models that when something happens in the workplace that just goes totally different than what you expect, sometimes we just need to have a good laugh about it so we don't cry about it, right? So keep a good sense of humor.